Hey.
We know. Oh, we are straight away. Good morning, everybody, and very warm welcome to the Writing.ie Facebook page. My name is Sam Blake. Some of you might know me as Vanessa. I run Writing.ie, and I'm in the window here is my partner in crime, Maria McHale, who runs the Writers Inc. Writers Inc. writing group with me, and we have a fantastic bunch of writers, and we have great fun with them. But we're here today to talk to you about the challenge that we're running next week. It starts on Monday the 13th, and this is our 6th challenge, Maria, isn't it?
This is our 6th challenge, yes.
Yeah,
and some people have done every single one, so it's a pretty good one.
They have. There's a great buzz and there's huge energy created. But one of the things we focus on, obviously I focus on the writing side, and I'll be critiquing the pieces of work that come into the group, into the challenge group, as well as everybody else, and getting some real learning across. One of the other side of things we focus on is the sort of the mindset side, and that's Maria's really strong area. So she's here this morning to talk to you a little bit about rejection, because this is a big issue. It doesn't matter how many books you've written, how mega published you are, you will still get rejected. So don't feel that it's something that's personal. I suppose that's the first thing. She's going to talk a little bit about it, and I'm going to have a chat to you about submission strategies. So Maria, off you pop.
Yes, well, the thing about rejection is, unfortunately, there's no getting away from it when you're a writer. It is par for the course. It's part of what you do. And now, admittedly, one of the big things about rejection is you have to be putting yourself out there to get rejected. So there's often two problems when we have people coming into the challenge. One is that they have an awful fear of rejection and they take it really personally when they get rejected. But the other problem a lot of writers have is that they don't even put themselves into any competition or submit to anything.
They're frightened.
They're so terrified. Yeah, terrified. And so basically it's like a double-edged sword, because you're either doing lots of lovely writing, but never actually getting noticed or getting yourself out there because you're too terrified of rejection. Or when you do get put yourself out there, unfortunately, even the best of the best have been rejected. As we all know the stories, thousands, hundreds, many times. Everyone's got it. Even the biggest authors have a story about how many times they've been rejected. So it's unfortunately part of the job. But then that feeling, often when people do get rejected or when there is a knockback, that horrific feeling can crush people. And then a lot of writers end up never being able to put themselves out there again, or taking it personally and really, genuinely being crushed. And so I suppose a lot of the work that we would do is about building that resilience and your confidence around A, putting yourself out there, and B, when you do get rejected, how you deal with it. So there are big kind of tips during the week. And one of the big things that I always say to people, I've got two kind of tips. One is, often people think they need to be super confident and feel the fear and do it anyway. And while it can kind of motivate you sometimes, often people just get so paralyzed with fear, they literally can't do anything. And so it's not really the best strategy. And I always say it's not really confidence that is essential when you're about to submit something and you're worried about rejection. It's more about having courage. So have the courage to be okay with the idea that if you put something out there, you could be rejected, and that's okay, because it means you're putting something out there into the world. And the more times you do it, the more you're putting yourself out there, the higher your chance of actually being successful. So it is something that has to be done, but just in your mind, if you can think, I don't need to be super confident, I can still feel anxious and be a bit nervous about doing it, but if I just have a little bit of courage, I can actually get past this, submit something, and then, not think about the rejection at that time. And then in terms of building resilience around rejection, something that we always say in Writers Inc., and Vanessa's heard me say this 1,000 times, but one of the things is, when someone does reject you, they're not rejecting you. They're basically telling you what they want. And in this precise moment, it's not your work. But that's okay, because there's someone out there who does want your work, probably. Absolutely. And so if you can frame that thought in your mind, they're not rejecting you. They're not going, your work is whatever, they're just saying, this is what we want, and it's not this.
Yeah, so, it's just not right at the moment for us.
Exactly. Yeah. So there are our two tips: courage and just a little reframe around what rejection means. for the people who are, rejecting you and what it means for you. So, both of those things should help you submit more, which will increase your chances of success, whichever area you're going for.
Yeah, I think that's so important, because unless it's out there, there's no chance of it landing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Unless you enter short story competitions and you send off that novel, there's no chance of it actually getting out there. But I suppose from the writer's point of view, and in terms of thinking about minimizing rejection, because obviously we want to do that as well, be thinking about
very important.
There's some really, really big tips. So first of all, read the submission guidelines. I know it sounds like 101, but the number of people who submit to agents, I was in London, the last video came from when I was in London, and meeting agents, the agents I work with over the last 2 days, and they are still getting submissions from people who they don't represent. So, if you write poetry, don't send it to somebody who represents science fiction, because they will reject you, and then you will be devastated, and you will think it's all to do with you, and actually it's because they represent science fiction and not poetry. So making sure that you're a match for the agent, checking their submission guidelines, making sure if they say they're closed for submissions, that means they are closed for submissions, and you will get rejected. There's no point setting yourself up for a fall. So check all those things out. Really, really important. Make sure you've got an absolutely great covering letter. We talk about that. We'll be covering that in the group during the challenge. Covering letters and submissions, what to submit, and how to submit. To get a better chance of success, because there are an awful lot of quite duff covering letters out there too. So we want to make sure that you actually have the best possible covering letter to send with your work.
Yeah.
And the other thing is to make sure the work's ready, to make sure that it's absolutely the best that it can possibly be, that you can't see another thing that needs to be changed. It's not an agent's job. If you have that sort of niggling feeling that maybe a character's not quite right, or a location's not quite right, or this piece of dialogue isn't quite working, it's not an agent's job to tell you that's not working. It's your job to fix it, to make sure that work is exceptional when it hits an agent. I did an interview with Andrew Miller with Simon Trewin, who's my agent. They're back in lockdown. It's down on the writing.ie page in our video stream. There's some really useful stuff there. And one of the things he said is that for a debut novelist, a book needs to be original and fresh. And I think that is the best quote I've ever heard, because that is what you need. Your book needs to be original and fresh. It needs to be polished to the highest degree. When you put that last full stop down on the first draft, that's when the work begins. And that's what you really need to work on. So we'll be covering all of these things in the challenge.
Yes,
we will be, because Maria and I go live for an hour every single evening during the process of the challenge week, and we will make
double dose every single
night. We'll chat to you, we'll talk to you. I have got 20 years experience in this business, both as a best-selling writer and as a publishing scout. I work with agents and publishers all the time to find out what they're looking for and what they want, and to help people make their books better. So that's what we'll be bringing you in our challenge week. We'd love to have you on board. Maria's going to pop the link into the comments now, and that'll be where you sign up. It's 35 quid for the week. It's the best 35 quid you can possibly spend.
Yes, and the great thing is that by the end of the week, it doesn't matter what level you're at or how low your confidence is. I can absolutely guarantee that by the end of the week, A, you will have something that you can actually submit, the bones of something, and B, you will definitely be more confident. And actually, as a little bonus, you'll probably have made some new writer friends as well.
You will do, absolutely.
Community, So we do hope you'll join us. I'll drop the link into the comments for you guys, and we hope to see you in there. We're opening the group on Friday after 3:00. So if you sign up, we'll be in the group from Friday, and we'll get started on Monday.
Yeah, and we'll be doing a live Friday evening, won't we, to welcome everybody. So it's literally, we're experts at this. I can't put that too subtly. This is what we do, and we make people's writing better. So that's what we're going to do for you. So that's what the challenge is all about.
Yes.
Come and join us. Absolutely. Brilliant. We'd love to have you. So as I say, link will be in the comments. Just click on that and all the information's there. There's also an article on writing.ie on the homepage with more about the challenge. That's what the link will take you to. So you can find out more detail, get the times worked out and everything, see what's involved, and come and join us.
Yes, perfect. We'd love to see you.
Love to see you. Bye-bye.